Hey Christina, thanks for sending me your swim video for analysis. The first thing I'm looking at are breathing, body, balance, rotation, and kick. The reason I look at those four things together is because when you change one, it has an impact on the other three. So let's start with your breathing. The way you breathe right now, it's throwing off your body balance and rotation. So when you take a breath, you shouldn't have to lift your chin or your neck, and you shouldn't be looking up. Every time you have a head movement position like that, it's going to affect your lower body, and it's going to affect your body balance as well as your body alignment. In the pool, we want to make sure our ears are over our shoulders, over our hips, knees, and ankles. Just like in running, we want to have this nice tall horizontal position on top of the water. So when you breathe to rotate, you want to make sure you're exhaling before you inhale, and you rotate on your hip, and you leave one arm out and extended to balance your body. You don't want to press down and lift your head. That's probably what's going on. As you're pressing down, you're lifting your head. By pressing down, that's throwing off your balance. And by lifting your head, that's also throwing off your balance and alignment. So when you actually breathe, half your face should be in the water and half your face should be out of the water. So think of it as one goggle in the water, one goggle out of the water. So when it comes to rotation, you're a bilateral breather, meaning you're able to breathe to both sides. That definitely helps with body rotation. But just so you know, you should be rotating right side, left side, even when you're not breathing. And the way to think about body rotation is when your hand enters, you rotate. When your right hand enters, you rotate. But what's really going on with rotation is while one hand is entering, one arm is pulling. So as my right arm is entering, my left arm is pulling. As my left arm enters, my right arm pulls, and it's actually the underwater pull that drives your rotation. But it's just for simplicity, think about it as that hand entry. So we talked about breathing, body balance, rotation. Let's talk about the kick. It looks like you're kicking from the knee down, and the way I can tell is by the bend of your knee. So when it comes to kicking, you want to make sure you use your hip flexors and your quads, as well as have flexible ankles. A good way to manage ankle flexibility is if you can go into a deep end and do some vertical kicking with your hands out of the water. So you're just kicking along. Also, the balance drill, the kick on the side drill helps. Kick on side drill with rotation helps. And just doing some exercises to create some more flexible ankles. But really being mindful that you're kicking from the quad and hip flexor with minimal knee bend. That will help you provide balance. The kick doesn't necessarily help you provide propulsion. It uses a lot of energy because of the bigger muscle groups. So you really just want to use it as a balance tool. So let's move on to the three main phases of the stroke. Right now, your kind of arms are a little bit wide and a little bit straight and flat at hand entry. So the key drill that I would give you is a thumb slide drill. That'll help you get your arm really nice and close to your body, as well as help you with body rotation. So I would add the thumb slide drill, and then after you kind of get a little bit better recovery, then you want to focus on hand entry. So as your arm's recovering, fingertips below the wrist, below the elbow. As you enter, fingertips below the wrist, below the elbow, because that sets you up for a strong catch, which is the anchor before your push. Ultimately, to swim faster, we need to push more water behind us. We need to be able to pull the greatest amount of water with every arm stroke and push it all the way past your hip. So when you're looking down, if you have a black line to follow, you want to make sure you look down, and you want to watch your arms pulling underneath the center of your body. You should be pulling between your belly button and hip. You don't want to pull outside, and you don't want to cross the midline. So a nice pull, and then finish the pull all the way past your hip. You can even scrape your thigh to make sure you extend that hand behind you and you maximize that propulsive phase. So before you really think about what's going on under the water, we need to fix what's going on out of the water. And it starts with that breathing and that kick, really more or less being mindful of it, because that'll help you with body balance and rotation. And then you can think about the three main phases of the stroke. Recovery will have an impact on hand entry, ultimately how you enter impacts the most that high elbow catch, meaning fingertips below the elbow, and then the follow through and the push. So if you have any questions, let us know. You can ask the questions in the T2 Endurance Facebook group, which I know you're a part of, or you can leave us a voicemail on SpeakPipe. And we like to use those questions or comments on the Endurance Hour podcast because if you have a question, our answer can probably help many more athletes. Or you can just send me an email. I hope you make it a great day, and I look forward to following your progress in the pool.